Good morning, good morning. I'm Jocelyn, pelvic floor physical therapist, owner of the Vagina Doc Physical Therapy and Wellness in Scottsdale, Arizona. And this morning I wanted to talk to you about transitions. So where this came from was I was on my morning walk. I'm finally getting back on my schedule where I'm waking up at 4:30 so that I can make it to 5 a.m. CrossFit whenever the CrossFit gym opens, if I go back based on work and so on. But it's getting hotter and hotter in Arizona, and I need to get my workout in the morning before it gets too hot. And I need to get Louie walked, my dog. So I'm out on the walking path called the Green Belt it was before 5:30, like around 5:05, and I have my headphones in and listening to music that just fills me up with energy. And a song came on that I used to play on repeat not that long ago. It was probably just before the new year. So if you're watching this on live, comment live. If you watch this on the replay, comment replay. And so I'm listening to it, and I remember whenever I was listening to it not a long time ago, but in the fall, I mean, we don't really have winter here, it's not really winter. I was visualizing myself. This is crazy. I was thinking about opening a group fitness studio that I was going to make a hybrid rehab studio. It was a rehab group fitness studio, and it was basically going to be I wanted to have cycling, yoga. I think the name that I was thinking of is like cycle rehab or cycle therapy or something like that. And the song came on, and it's really emotional. I, in particular, am very moved by music. My mom's the same way. It's pretty crazy. But the song has a build-up, right? At first, you're like, it's really heavy. I'm going to play the beginning for you. And when I first heard it, it turned me off. I'm like, this is too much. It gives me anxiety. So after that, though, it transitions into a steady pace. So if you've ever taken a cycle class, like you're riding, your hands are on the bar, and you're going, like, you're not warming up, but you're getting, it's not ride easy, but it's also, you're building up resistance. And there's a build to the music, and it's really, really powerful. But then it, like, the way Above and Beyond builds it's so, like, it builds an emotional response. I could feel it, but it's a type of emotional response that is inspiring and uplifting. So I'm gonna play that for you. And Facebook might turn me off, but I'll put the link in with the timestamp. So starting to build, if this were a cycle class, you would be building in resistance, and you'd be up, standing riding. You hear it, it's starting to building. As you transition, I would get you back on the saddle, and it would be a sprint. But listen. And every time I hear this transition, I get the chills. I don't know if you could see them, probably not, but I have the chills whenever I listen to that transition, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Regardless of what's happening in my life right now, there's always something to work towards, or there's hope. There's hope somewhere. If you just gotta look for it. And I mean, the internal or like the physiologic response that I get there is just undescribable. So that had me thinking about transitions in life, transitions in music. How do I respond to transitions in music? Just a song can create a change in my day. And then that made me thinking of transitions in life. So I wake up, I drink my coffee, and then I look at the sky and just watch dawn. This is my second cup of coffee, which I don't typically do. And it's been like the stuff that's been building in the pot. But after that, I transition into my workout. And, I walk Louie. And I have two options. I can be, I could be excited to walk Louie. Hey, it's cool out. Or Louie, let's do this together. He gets so excited to play with this frisbee. Or I could look at it as a chore. Oh, I have to walk Louie. Then, after I transition from walking Louie, I go into my workout. My workout this morning, thank you, shout out to Camelback CrossFit, was a doozy. It's a 400-meter run, followed by 9 reps of deadlifts at 145 pounds and 9 lateral burpees over barbell. Then you do 12 of each, 12 deadlifts, 12 burpees, 15 deadlifts, 15 burpees, and then I ran 800 meters. Then it's 15 deadlifts, 15 lateral barbell over burpees, or burpees over barbell, 12 deadlifts, 12 burpees over barbell, 9 deadlifts, 9 burpees over barbell, and then 400-meter run. And I just deadlifted last night, not looking at the workout today, and I could have totally looked at that and been like, oh, I just deadlifted. My hands are torn, hurt so bad because I've been washing them every 5 minutes, and I did pull-ups yesterday, and my hands are just calloused, even though I shave them every day, but they hurt. So I could have been like, oh, my hands hurt, or oh, I hate burpees. Or I can look at that transition in my day and be like, okay, this is gonna energize me. I just deadlifted yesterday. My muscles they have the memory in to approach this workout. I don't need a bike or a rower, so I can do the workout as written. I'm just focusing on all the positives. To be honest, I did not want to deadlift. Did not want to deadlift. I'll say that again. I did not want to deadlift. And I did not want to do burpees and jump over a barbell. I did not want to do that. I wanted to do anything but that. But what is the use of that? It just totally sets the tone for the workout. So when I see negative thoughts transitioning, I just push them out with what can I focus on that is going to energize me. So that is how I approach just different transitions in my day. So I get really energized to do this. Before, I used to be really nervous, and now I just don't care, because when you put yourself out like this, you curate an audience that you want. The people that don't like you and you don't like, or I don't enjoy working with, they're not going to keep following me. So good, bye. But the people that resonate with my messaging and the way I approach life are going to stay on, and that's who I want to serve. So as I appreciated that factor, I stopped caring, and then you just get better. I got better at doing this. I get better every time. I still have a long way to go, but I used to get nervous. That nervous energy took away from the energy that I could put into this. And then after this, I am going to film for a course that I have online. I'm going to do a little training on pooping with my Facebook group. And all of those things, I could easily think, okay, another video that no one's going to watch, or another video that Facebook isn't going to show anyone. But I'm not going to do that. What's the point? It's only going to push me back. So I alluded in the comments or in my introduction about transitions and movement, how a lot of people that come to see me for a pain problem have their pain primarily in their transitions. Notice as I just described in detail how I transition from activity to activity. At 9 o'clock, I have to drive. I have the opportunity to drive to Sun Lakes to see a couple people. I have to sanitize my car first. I have to sanitize my gear. I have to make sure I'm ready to go just in the event, just to keep everyone safe, to keep myself safe. But I have the opportunity to leave my place. So I'm going to transition with that in mind rather than thinking, oh, I gotta sanitize, oh, I gotta drive all the way to Sun Lakes, which takes 25 minutes. I get to do that, and then I get to have a positive impact on a 2 people's day. Like, that is awesome. So I just described in detail how I approach that. When people move, my first question when they tell me, oh, I have pain whenever I bend, I'm like, okay, what's your strategy? They have no idea what their strategy is. They just bend, pick it up, and they can't describe anything. They can't even describe their pain half the time. We, as human beings, are too programmed to be on autopilot. And when we go on autopilot, we forget principles. We forget. Our brain likes to take the path of least resistance. In previous videos, may have talked about unconsciously incompetent. You don't know you have a problem, so that's you. If you're bent and you have pain, you're kind of not there. You're moving on from there, and you have no idea that it's even a problem that you should seek change for. Then you have unconsciously competent or consciously incompetent. Consciously incompetent, you know you're doing it wrong, or you're doing, and I hate to use the word wrong, but you're doing it in such a way that is contributing to your problem, and that should be changed. But at that point, you don't know what to do about it. You don't know what the solution is or who to talk to, if we're talking business and business decisions as a consumer. Then you have consciously competent. So if we're talking about a consumer, consumer that's going to get help, you know you have a problem, and you know who you're going to go to because they're going to solve your problem or help you solve your problem. If you're in the middle of the movement, you know that you're doing it in such a way that is beneficial to your symptoms, meaning it's a way that doesn't bring on your symptoms, or it makes you feel better. And then you have unconsciously competent, where you're in a flow state. If we're talking about a consumer or in business, this is where you're able to collaborate with others because you're self-aware, you know your stuff well enough to collaborate. If we're talking in movement, this is where you can move without even thinking about it. This is the highest level of elite movers, like Olympians. Or, I mean, for a lot of the things that I teach you, I've reached unconscious competency. Like, I don't have to think about my abdominals for most movements, or I don't have to think about my pelvic floor. I don't have to think about my side glutes, that kind of thing. So let's go back. A lot of you guys are just unconsciously incompetent in such that you don't know you even have a problem, and you just do it over and over until it gets so bad that your body's screaming at you. Or you're consciously incompetent in that you know you have a problem, but you don't know what to do about it. It hurts when you bend, but you don't know how to do it a different way, so it's not going to bend. So, first thing, bring awareness to your transition. Pay attention to when you bend. Are you holding your breath? Are you just shooting your knees back and just bending in like such a way that your back is like arching and bending through the transition, which is often can be painful in the presence of inflammation? Notice I was very particular of how I said that, because there's so many ways to bend. It's just where I see people get into trouble is when they start with an arch back and through the transition they start to bend. Or through those transitions, when they go to stand up, they're in a bent position and then their spine arches as they're moving. And that's the problem. Not so much that they start bent and they stay in the same position as they bend, or they start a little bit arched and they stay in the same position as they lift back up. So the point is not about getting all sciencey on you. The point is you have to pay attention to what you're doing. How are you transitioning? Pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to your foot position. Are your feet together? Or is it better when your feet are apart? Are you under high stress? Are you dehydrated? Are you have a bad attitude of some sort? Like, it doesn't even have to be a pain problem. It's just like, oh, I don't want to work out. The workout's miserable. Or, oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. So it's miserable. Pay attention. Are you negative? If it's an emotional thing, are you focusing on all the opportunity? Do you bring the joy every time you cross a threshold through a door? If not, can you? What can you do to do that? When movement, pay attention to what you're doing and do something different. Transitions. Pay attention to them. Pay attention to all the things and be your own detective. Pay attention to your vision. So with that song that I introduced you in the beginning of the video, sound was my sense, and it just like creates a physiologic response. Sight might be your thing. Touch might be your thing. Smell might be your thing. You might want to sing when you're doing it. You might want to talk while you're doing it. So that would be kind of sense. I don't know. Sound. It could be in multiple different senses when you're talking. It could be your feel. Are you too in tune to your body? Those with you with fibromyalgia or chronic pain. Are you too in your body? Do we need to move your senses away? Until we bring awareness of how we transition through life, we cannot change. You can't change what you're not aware of. That's in movement, and that's in life. So as you approach your transitions today, I want you to think about that. What can you do to make the best out of every transition so that the next movement, if it's a physical thing, is more fulfilling or more comfortable? If it's an activity in your day, how can you bring the joy to those around you? How can you make the day better for other people? I'm going to share a post that my coach had posted this morning, and it really resonated with me. It was the ripple effect. Just by approaching things a little bit differently. Maybe saying hi to someone you walk by in the grocery store. Or maybe saying, if you're in the grocery store and you're picking up your groceries, maybe saying hey to the person bringing out, I really appreciate that you're doing this. Thank you for doing this. Or I hope you have a really, really awesome day because you're impacting so many lives. I don't have to go get my own groceries. And then that is a ripple effect on other people, that they will bring that to other people. Thank you guys for listening. If you had a takeaway here, please put it in the comments. If you have any questions for me, what I'm doing about the COVID, about how I'm still seeing people virtually or in person, what measures I'm taking in terms of sanitation, safety, to make sure my patients and clients are safe, please let me know. I need to update my website. And if there's anything I can do to help you or serve you, I'm still in the beginning phases of this whole journey, so I appreciate any feedback. You can email me at jocelynconleypt@gmail.com. You can call me at 480-980-0367, or you can message me on here. If you haven't already joined and you're a active female or an athlete, female athlete, I have a Facebook group that I do a lot of stuff on. It's the pelvic floor support group for female athletes and active women. That group is growing. Announcements are on there. I recommend you join that. You can get that on my personal page, the link to that on my personal page, or send me a message and I can send it to you. With that, I will see you on Thursday. Until next time on Real Talk with the Vagina Doc.